Hey, MCE crew, what a development we have here. Russians buy up gold to salvage savings after ruble collapse. So as you know, the sanctions that were placed on Russia has their currency, the ruble, in a free fall. And so citizens are resorting to gold. Let's examine what's going on, because this can be kind of a preview to what may happen in this country and in the Western world, not just in America, but in the Western world in general, if the dollar, the dollar loses its reserve currency status. And look, that event is not going to be a light switch. It's going to be a progression. Now, it has been a light switch in Russia. So the Russian people have had to act pretty fast. But what we're seeing in this flash crash of the ruble is we're seeing the types of financial behaviors that the frogs in the boiling pot of water are engaging in. Now, we're over here in the Western world, in America, we're in the pot of water that is coming up to a slow boil. So the danger here for us is that we don't see it or feel it as severely and suddenly as, say, the Russians. But when the United States dollar is no longer the reserve currency, we're going to have one hell of an issue because it's going to not only affect America, it's going to affect the world, because again, it's the world's reserve currency. All right, so before we get to going over what's happening in Russia with gold, let's look at another key development. And again, this is that slow boil starting to bubble up. Petrodollar cracks. Remember, the petrodollar is just another name for the US dollar. Saudi Arabia considers accepting Chinese yuan for Chinese oil sales. Okay, right now, it's the petrodollar. People use the dollar as the method of exchange for especially oil. One of the core staples of the past 40 years and an anchor propping up the dollar's reserve status was a global financial system based on the petrodollar. This was the world in which oil producers would sell their product to the U.S. and the rest of the world for dollars, which they would then recycle the proceeds in dollar-denominated assets and while investing in dollar-denominated markets, explicitly prop up the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency, and in the process backstop the standing of the United States as the world's undisputed and sole financial superpower. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. This was so well written because it encapsulates it perfectly. We're going from superpower status to third world status financially. And let me say something about that term, third world. When I use that term, a lot of people, I'm using it in the incorrect but popular context. When people think third world, they think of a poor country. But in reality, first world meant countries that practiced Western democracy. Second world meant countries that practiced communism or some sort of Leninist philosophy. And third world was everybody else. Okay, that's the technical term. But I'm using it in the more popular parlance of going from hero to zero, basically. So one day after we reported that the UK is asking Saudis for more oil, even as Mohammed bin Salman invites Xi Jinping to Riyadh to strengthen ties, the Wall Street Journal is out with a blockbuster report noting that Saudi Arabia is in active talks with Beijing to price some of its oil sales to China in yuan, a move that could cripple not only the petrodollar's dominance of the global petroleum market, something which Zoltan Pozsar predicted in his last note, and mark another shift by the world's top crude exporter toward Asia. Asia is rising, China specifically. Okay, so we see that happening, right? we've got Russia and Putin over there saying, okay, we can't, they've destroyed our currency in the meantime, and they're not allowing us access to the dollar-driven financial infrastructure of the world. So you see, we're going to talk about in a minute what they're doing with gold, and this is all topsy-turvy. I swear to you guys, again, I think I said in a previous video, Barack Obama is reputed to have said, never underestimate Joe Biden's ability to fuck things up. And man, he wasn't lying. Joe Biden is an invalid, a mentally challenged invalid.
But there's been a little change in the arrangement of who's on the stage because of the First Lady's husband contracting COVID. But look at this room and what you see. Pardon? That's right. She's fine. It's me. That's not together. The second lady, the first gentleman.
Okay, I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican, there's no way in hell that you can look at this situation and say that the United States of America is currently being managed correctly. We came out of Afghanistan in a just humiliating and horrific manner, a manner that was so chaotic that you had actual human beings latching onto a military plane in some desperate attempt to leave the country. It was just, you saw it, okay? It was disgusting. Then you have all of this other stuff going on with the way that the sanctions that Biden has placed on Russia have actually backfired on us. So let's talk about Russia. Russians buy up gold to salvage savings after the ruble collapse. State lender Sberbank says demand for bullion has quadrupled, not doubled, not tripled, quadrupled. Bank of Russia, their central bank, they are halting gold purchases in the domestic market. Let's find out why. Russians are buying more gold to protect their savings after Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine sparked a collapse in the ruble and new restrictions made it more difficult to purchase foreign currency or take money out of the country. Increasing household demand for physical gold prompted Bank of Russia to halt its purchases from banks to ensure there's enough supply for local buyers, aka citizens. They said that Tuesday. The bank said that Tuesday. Russia is also scrapping a 20% value-added tax on purchases of metals, and this had the effect of also driving demand. Okay, so gold is something that is manipulated in terms of the price, but you can only do so much of that. And if the Russians are out there buying gold at this type of prodigious clip because of the sanctions, then I would believe that, well, it's naturally going to take supply offline. And this is why I say, you're going to have supply constraints and you're going to have more demands on, to buy gold worldwide, because the Russians, they may be feeling it, but other people are watching it. We've done tons of videos on how China's been out there buying gold. Look, one of the things that I try to do is emulate what the wealthy do. And that includes wealthy institutions like banks. And banks have been buying up gold because the smart money knows how this ends. All right. You should know how it ends by now. You know that dollar you have in your pocket is not going anywhere near as far as it went just a year ago, even 6 months ago. Okay, you know that. So they go on to say the nation's biggest lender, Sberbank, said last week that demand for gold and palladium had quadrupled, and it planned to increase the number of offices selling the precious metal to help people protect their savings. So they're getting it. They're going ahead and purchasing that hard asset, that money. There's a difference between currency and money, and gold has been money since, for thousands of years. The ancient Egyptians recognized its rarity and value. Now, somebody came onto my Facebook. You know who you are. And they went on this like evangelical tirade about crypto. Now, I am not a crypto basher, but the facts are crypto has not gone through an economic downturn. Okay? Crypto has not seen a recession. It has not seen a recession, a depression, a recession. It's seen neither of those things. Crypto has not seen the end of a fiat currency. Okay? So we don't know how that class, that asset class, will react to those things. Now, if you are an investor in crypto, I should hope that you've done your due diligence and you're very comfortable with your stance in that asset, and that's fine. Okay, I am not here to bash any asset class. I believe what Warren Buffett said in that there's more than one way to get to heaven, which by what he meant by that was basically there are a lot of ways to make money. Okay. Now, I do tell you this. Again, I have a problem with the proselytization, the televangelist kind of skilo that a lot of these crypto enthusiasts approach the subject with.
Can I get an amen?
The particular person I was speaking to, I believe that this individual sees crypto as that's it. Okay, that's all you need. And I certainly disagree with that. I believe in diversification of asset classes. So we have been on this channel advising people about what we do, not telling you what to do, but we are suggesting that you do your due diligence on everything that you may invest in. I can tell you that I think that hard assets are going to become extremely relevant. Now, real estate, gold, silver. Gold and silver are going to help you protect your purchasing power. Gold's going to act like an insurance policy for your purchasing power. Okay. Silver is going to give you the ability, in the worst case scenario, to still be able to barter for goods and services. Okay. In the worst case scenario, because silver is valued at a far less, at a smaller denomination. Okay. So you wouldn't take an ounce of gold to buy, medical supplies, unless it was a hell of a lot of medical supplies. But you may take several ounces of silver to do that. Okay, so they serve two different functions. Real estate. Again, I'm going to beat the hell out of this dead horse. PETA, you're just going to have to suck it up. Land is going to allow you to produce food. It's going to allow you to produce timber that you can sell. Okay, it's going to allow you maybe to bring your loved ones into a small community where you guys can ride out the economic storm clouds that are coming over the horizon. Investing in companies like stocks, quality stocks, okay? Because even when the dollar loses its reserve currency status, we are still going to need to transact goods and services, and there will still be companies out there to do that. Do you think that just because the dollar collapses, you're not going to be ordering from Amazon? Of course, you still will be. You may not be using the dollar to do it, okay? The United States is going to have to learn a lot about foreign exchange, foreign currency exchange. A lot of other people from a lot of other countries, they already know about this, okay? Because they don't enjoy the world's reserve currency, something that we're going to have to become familiar with over here in America and in other parts of the Western world that enjoy a standard of living that is brought to them by the fact that the dollar is a reserve currency. Okay, so there we have it. We have Russia. The Russian people are buying gold to protect their wealth. They're not buying gold ETFs, by the way. They're buying physical gold. Okay, because we're getting into this era where it's becoming very, very clear, like a lot of people have been saying for many, many years, if you can't put your hands on it, do you really own it? And there may be a point at which all of this paper gold, like the ETFs and the different, funds and whatever, there may come a day where they have to actually be audited and account for the amount of gold they say they have. Will they be able to do it? Well, Russian citizens who are buying gold, if you want to know how much they have, maybe you can ask them and they'll say, hey, I got it in my hand right here. I got, 50 ounces or whatever. They might say that, okay? And they'll know they have it because they can put their hands on it. Take that for what it's worth. All right, guys. Hey, I want to end with this real quick if you're still here. Thank you so much. We have over 800 subscribers. Look, I know that there are channels out there with millions of subscribers, and I say more power to those channels. Over 800 is something I never thought that this channel would reach. So I want to thank you all. We've got people all around the world too, man. That never ceases to blow me away. I thank you all for commenting. I thank you for responding to the community tab. We've got Billy Breakerho, who's been supportive of this channel for a long, long time. We've got Duke of Prunes, who's out there. And look, if I'm not mentioning you in this video, I will get to it at some point. I'm just so happy with all of you for supporting this channel. We got the Hawaiian Prepper Network 808 out there. Thank you so much. So, listen, thank you all. I know at some point I will mention all of you. But that's all for now. Guys, I will talk to you soon. To learn more about how you can achieve financial independence, check out these videos we recently posted on the Money Changes Everything channel.